really don't know what to do for this. Haven't really planned it out in terms of like what I want. And put this stuff up too to make sure I am streaming. Man, I hate trying to figure out what to do for this. I didn't really plan out anything on my end in terms of affixing other than that one fodder piece. Might as well farm. Stream is questionable too. Just don't feel like streaming as much. Since I started, I am gonna be linking this. I'll stream for an hour or so. Okay, so why does that guy look so... So since it's time attack ones, it should be easy for me to do. I already had some of these saved up. I could do some math. Let's turn that in instead. There's my 200 right there. Ah shit, today's the Balvados order too. Actually no, let's get a fucking refresh then. Shit. Oh, that sucks. Oh, wrong one. Nope, did not want to show that. Why do I have that window anyways? Nope. Damn it. Was it in this window? Nope. Not even in that one. Which one is this one? Why did I go to this window again? Shit. Anyways. What did I not complete? Menacing castle, man. Don't really want to do that. We'll do the weekly shit. Get some of it out of the way. Actually, I would do the ARC's missions quick. Just so I can get a silver ticket. Since I might make a new character. Might. Get another bunch. Completed that. I need to go grind something. Might actually toy around with this character's Affix or her units and stuff because she does have a bunch of stuff here. Let's go with that. Let's go grind something. You stream right as I'm about to work. It's not gonna be a long stream, Yuli. Hey there, by the way. I'm only doing it for at least an hour because I'm trying to figure out what to actually do. Except I'm going to be gambling soon. Or I had to really think about it because I didn't really plan for this shit. Yeah, horrible timing, my old friend. My bad. I don't plan to stream as much this week because I am trying to just figure out what to. Actually, no. It's not like I'm trying to figure it out. I know what I need to do. It's just that I need to record the footage. It's gonna take a while to edit it and then upload it. Thing is, I'm trying to figure out what exactly should I make. Gotta have a bunch of shit. Persona Rev, loser. Actually, you got into Hero Kentari, right, Yuli? Doubles, Sonar. I could gamble with those. Fuck. The problem with me making catalysts is that they're not. The Reverie catalyst isn't as high. I can sell it, but it's not gonna give me a huge profit. Like Astra, so. Let's see how much this costs for an 8 slot. It should be... Wow, it's not existent. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. This is 31. I'm surprised that that's 31 mil. This is... Okay, that is something. I didn't realize that it was such a price. I think at the fact it would be the expensive one just because of scarcity. Oh god. Yeah, I was right. I called it. It's the factors that's gonna be the Alright, yeah, dude, that's not bad, but if it's like Yamato. Yamato's 2 mil a pop. How much is the factor catalyst for a 5 slot? 10 mil. Okay, that would be good if you can do that. And then at the factor at a 5 slot would be... So it's not bad, especially if you decide to... Yeah, that increased the value drastically. It also has a mark. Problem with that unit piece is that it's not finalized. So this would be something someone would want to buy outright. It's in 210. Also got Mega Memoria, so... Oh wait, that's a bad thing. Don't know why they put the grand in there. Yeah, why is the grand in this piece of shit? Why did they put modulator in this? You can get a power 5 out of this if you do your fodder pieces right. You can try to get modulated transfer to work too. Problem is, elegant power isn't bad because it is the 3rd grade. But I wouldn't really keep that. Now this you can definitely do an ability transfer for. Trying to figure out what exactly can give me a profit at the moment, but nothing's catching my attention as much. Reveries would have been nice, but at the same time, they're not really doing as much in terms of profit gain. Yeah, they're not doing as much, so... Good time to actually get them and use them. They did went from, I think, 200,000 to 500,000. You can gamble these and try to make a profit off of them. Question is, will people actually buy them when you can try to make them at a lower cost? Don't I have Metras? Blades. So I do have a couple of them. Do I have a bunch of them in here? Yes, I do. Oh, good thing about Metra is that you just need 2 to get the most out of it. It does give a decent amount of perks or stats. Spit Persona though. If I can combine Persona Revs. If I can combine Persona Rev with Metra, that will be something. Only problem I'll have is the subcards. Don't need these subcards. I need something that's at a 5. Oh yeah, that's a finalized speed. I can't use that one. That one is going to be sold. Do I need the stamina 3? Not really. He's already at the base. I think this is where I put most of my subcards. Arc's Fever. That's not bad. I could toy with that one. This is gonna be a gamble though. Let's use one of these. Do I want Metra or do I want Veruna? I have a bunch of these Metra ones, so let's gamble with 2 of these. And then let me get a Persona Red too. Don't need these 3. Actually, take this one out just in case I need that soul. Let's see if I can gamble. Do I want anything? Not with Monica. Fuck that. Let's see if I can work around with like 2 mil. Be 1. Oh, hold up. Units. This is gonna be... Did I not pull up that sub card? I did not. Need the one that's 6 slot with... Apparently I can toy with that around with that one. I should also push some of these 6 slots into... 5 slots into 6 slots. Do I have any more fevers? I have some at 2 slots, but I would need to increase their slot number to a good number. I actually got several of these Arcs Fevers at this slot. I might need to grab another one of these and toy around with this as well. Get a Metro again. Problem. I only got one, some of that 5 slots. I got a couple over here at 2, so grab 2 of these. What else? Persona Rev? Yeah, Persona Rev. I should have a bunch of these at the higher slots. Persona Rev, Persona Soul, don't really need those. Alright, gamble time. Oh wait, I need another 40. I should get all of these. Might as well get the 30% too, just in case. First one, Arc's Fever with 3 Persona Revs. Doesn't matter which one. That has a Spirit in it. And a shoot. Whatever, I'll sacrifice it. And 2 Metros. Ignore that. Ooh, that's actually a good number. Using a 40% automatically gets us 100%, so I don't really need to worry about gambling as much. If I really want to, I could also get these grade 3 powers since I'm using 40%, might as well. Use a 40 on this, boom, everything is at 100. So... I wasn't thinking about it, but I could use this to my advantage. The only problem is I'm gambling hard if I decide to do what I think I have in mind. But it wouldn't be that bad, would it? I might consider it. Yeah, I might do that. Now I need to see if I have a bunch of other copies of something. I think I have a bunch of losers. Not at the right numbers. 1 6 slots. Couple others at 6 slots. No losers there. 5 slot losers. 6 slot 1, 6 slot as well. Persona, so I'll take that one, and then also I'll need another 6 slot, and then one last one. Hey there, gamer. How you doing? Doing a bunch of affixes right now. I'm toying around with something, thinking about what to make. Don't know if I plan to sell this piece. So, loser rev, and then there's a metro. I need to get metro in here too. So there's 2 metros here. Loser rev would be from... Alright, there's one, and then there's the other one. So combining this, not using anything, I'm gonna get Arc's Fever, Loser Rev, Metro Glare, have everything else as they are, use a 40%, everything translates at 100, now I got this piece. If I have 6 slots, hopefully I do, I should gamble with this. Now, this is gonna be hurtful in a sense if this fucks me over badly. But this would also pay off a lot because I decided to tamper with this. Oh wait, shit, no. I did something stupid. I don't want like too many fevers on that thing. Fuck. Do I have enough Persona Revs? I need 6 slots. I have 3 of them. I do not want to use that. That has an apprentice though. I want to keep the apprentice, so thank you very much. Otis, so not really a keeper, but I want to have that on hand just in case. Don't need that. So I'm gonna have to find a unit piece. Subcards. Stamina 3. I really don't need to use this. Damn, I hate rethinking a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna have to gamble. I'm gonna need these metras. And I need to toy around with that 5 flop. Think about it, could I buy metras and not have a issue with it? We'll gamble. Nope. How much do you cost like a 6 slot? They're not that bad. They're cheap. 8 slots are something though. Interesting. How about 7 slot? Decent at 7. Alright, so I just need 2 metras for this to work. What to do? Persona. Now I need to get loser. Rev at a 6. 6 slot loser. Could increase those 5 slots. Loser, yep. There's 1. Elder Rev, need you at a 6. Oh shit, only got 1 of you guys. Alright. Double. Another 1 at this. For Gina. Got 2 of these. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is gamble now. I don't know if I plan to sell this. Questionable. So what I'm gonna do is select this sub card. Select the sub card that I did for the Metra, then select everything else. So I need a loser. I already got a persona, so that's already marked off. I need to get a Virginia. Well, the double. Elder. And then Virginia. With that, I can finalize this so I can get Arx Fever, Reverie, Catalyst, Metro Glare. Anything would be a bonus. I do not want to try to upslot this. That would be a gamble. Do not want to gamble that hard with the Catalyst in itself. I could get these different resists. Oh, it doesn't give me... Think about it, I don't have the right ones. Might as well shove these. Why the fuck not? I could put Persona Soul on it. Now I'm gonna use a 40. Oh, that fucking sucked. That was annoying. Oh god, I'm actually annoyed with that. That is something you do not want to encounter. Oh, okay. That makes me sick. Fuck. Anyways, that is something that failed. Now I need to see if I got another Elder Rev somewhere. And I do. Alright, so I already got a double in my storage. Or in my inventory. Let's try the other one. Double. Already got loser on this thing. I got persona if I can find one that's by itself. Double. What? Double loser, persona, Apergina, and it's gonna be an elder. Apergina, elder, and I got one more slot. I need a Metra in there. Don't use anything. Use a 40. Motherfucker! Oh god damn you, doo-doo! Said, I want to prep for a hero. What weapon should I be farming in units? I'm on North America, by the way. So, for hero, you will be using 3 different types of weapons, but most likely you might be using 2 out of the 3 a lot more. You're going to be toying around with the swords, you're going to be toying around with twin machine guns, and then you'll be toying around with the Talus weapon. So, you'll want something... You'll want one of those 3. Now, when it comes to how you build your hero class, that will also fall on which weapon you'll go to exactly. In terms of what a lot of people are doing here over in the Japanese PSO2, I've seen a lot of swords and TMGs compared to Taluses. Taluses, they do have their own quirk, but yeah, it's mostly swords and TMGs. In terms of what weapon you should go for specifically in terms of playing as a hero, that would depend, especially on like whatever your playstyle is. I don't know what grade weapon is going to be released during episode 5. It might start to introduce 14 stars or even 15 stars. Depends on how NA is pacing themselves. So yeah, biggest thing though is for hero, you will want to make sure you have at least a certain attack stat mag. For example, 200 S attack, R attack, or T attack. You don't want to have a dex mag for hero. But other than that, that should be it. Yeah, a lot of people, once again, over here in the Japanese PSO2 use swords and TMGs a lot more. I haven't seen anyone use the Talus as much. Fuck. What am I doing with this shit? Yeah, I need to actually fix this motherfucker. But I can't fix it because it's fucked up. It didn't get the fucking catalyst to work. Oh, that's sad. It said you got all 4 mags level 200. Nice. Meanwhile, I'm over here fucking gambling my fucking shit inventory because... well, I need to. The problem is I can't really gain a huge profit from this Affix week as much, because in terms of what I am trying to make, like the catalyst is there okay. Factor catalyst is actually the expensive one compared to all the other different catalysts now, because there aren't a lot of these factor abilities dropping over here. Like a catalyst over here at a 5-star costs like 11 mil. That's actually a lot for a 5-slot. And then there's like 8-slot ones. It's not that high. Actually, that's pretty fucking cheap. Why did I have that cheap when like the factor at a... well, there's no factor at an 8-slot. Is it? I'm confused. I guess they don't have it at an 8-slot because it is sold out. Yeah, this for example, people would fucking buy just because... oh wait, yeah, one, it's a light stream. With the light stream, even though it's a 12-star, you can personally upgrade this to a 13-star. I do have a playlist for it, Captain, if you need to get into it. I break it down in a way so you can understand it and understand various concepts by itself before you add them all together. But yeah, these things can give you a shit ton of money if you know how to play around with it. I'm just trying to figure out how am I gonna toy around with this week's Affix week. Because the problem is you also have to consider the market as well. Like, this thing is expensive, I can see why, because one, it's the 7th slot. 7th slot, in terms of units, are a pain in the ass to make, along with an 8th slot. Not only that, this is a finalized piece, because it has 3 of the hard abilities you had to make in-game, and you had to gamble on the motherfuckers. For when it, yeah, the thing about fixes is that they don't really play a huge role until you start getting to end game content and higher difficulties. Like over here in the Japanese PSO2, ultra hard is ultra hard. Like, these things can one-shot you if you're not careful, or if you don't have decent abilities on you and units. So that's why, like, you need to make sure you affix your gear properly. I know a couple people who were able to do extra hard without having to affix, but on ultra hard, most of the time you would want to have some decent abilities on your weapon and or gear. You don't need to have like the most expensive items, like these items over here. That's at what, 1 fucking billion. Holy shit, this is actually at 1 billion. I can see why. Yeah, that shit right there is expensive as hell. The best thing to do over there in North America, in my opinion, other than trying to worry about levels and once you actually get your end game gear, you would want to farm for certain abilities in terms of affixes. Like, some of you guys over there in North America don't really have all the affixes or abilities yet. Like, you can't really farm for Reverie stuff because that's like episode 5 content. Factors, you guys are getting episode 4 content, it's just that you don't have all of the different factor abilities you can go for. One of the abilities I can emphasize on, and people made videos talking about it, emphasizing it, would be the returner ability, or over there it's called Veteran Resolve. The return ability is pretty much an ability you can only get by going through abduction, and this motherfucker is, one, it's you had to farm for this thing, and secondly, this is something that is an all-rounder stat ability, and it emphasizes a lot on PP. Now, there's another ability called Crack over here in the Japanese PSO2. Yes, there's an ability called Crack. And that one does the same thing, except it emphasizes more on your defense and HP. So that's not as expensive as this thing. And this is only a 1 slot. And you can easily acquire these by going through a super hard abduction by spamming time attacks a bunch. But yeah, these things over here cost like 10 mil. And then if I were to look at the one that's at a returner 3 out of 1 slot, it's not that expensive, but you'll realize why people aren't buying these as much compared to those returner ones. Which I already made a video talking about, like, how to get a returner 1 all the way up to a grade 5. I mean, I should actually farm for those returners instead. Like, cracked 1 abilities, they would be something to go for as well. That's only at a 7th slot though. There's different grades though. It's a bit easier to farm for these and get them to the higher grades too. But yeah, enough of me staring at the market and stuff. No problem. I'm trying to help those who are trying to actually get into affixing, or at least prep themselves for it. And if you want to make a profit off of it, this is how I actually do it. It's just that you gotta know what you're doing and you gotta fucking gamble, because that's what I just did earlier with these, some of my pieces. I had to gamble for those, certain things. I'm not happy about that, but it's whatever. And this can also save you a bunch of money as well, because if you know how to do it and you know how to farm for these things, you don't need to pay someone to do the service. You can pretty much use it for yourself and not spend a dime on anyone. Yeah, the problem with this motherfucker is that there's one thing I do need to fix, which is my damn unit piece over here. This is an old unit piece, and you'll see that I have 30 hard-ass abilities to make. It's just that Doombreak 2 is not an ideal ability that I want on this. And Wound says, what's the fastest way to get X cubes? Are you playing on North America or in the Japanese PSO2? June. Oh, Boon. And then Captain says, is 2,000 X cubes enough or do I need more? For North America, that is good, but continue to farm and stack up on X cubes. Because when it comes to how I use my X cubes, you can either use them for money or you can either use them for the 40%. Now, once again, this ultimately falls on what you're doing in-game and what you are making in terms of the ability side and a fixing side. But I use the 40% especially if I want to try to finalize something or I really want to push for something. But this is also a gamble because if you decide to use a 40%, that's 100 X cubes right there. You could technically trade in 100 X cubes worth, get a bunch of grinders, sell those grinders, so you can get a bunch of Meseta and get a fixed income from that. Compared to you using 100 X cubes, use a 40% gamble on something, and if you don't really succeed in that gamble, then you just lost 100 X cubes. Pronounced like June. Alright, thanks for the heads up about that. You're playing on Japan, so best way to farm X cubes, do fucking divide. That is the easiest way to get a ton of X cubes. You can get, if you don't know if you're level 85, if you're level 85, you should be farming this thing. But I'll show it up on the screen right now. So you go to the quest counter, you get to talk to the NPC. You get to see this option, divide quest. You had to be level 85 to do this. There are different stages depending on how you started off and if you got a party and all that. You want to try to go through all 30 of these stages. Now, when you do this, you also get some other stuff as well. I am going to make a video talking about it. But if you do these, you'll get points. This is within a week. So, if you're able to accumulate up to at least 1 million points in a week, you can get a bunch of goodies. You can get modules. You can get Sage Crest. You can get Divide Medals. You can get all these things. And guess what you can do with those modules as well. If you have modules, you could then sell it on the market and you can get more money as well. So, if I were to type this in, for example, module Metro, for example, you can see, well, that's not as expensive. I think it decreased because of the limited quest that kicked in over here. But at the very least, you can try to get some extra money. Like Varuna, apparently. Holy shit, Varuna actually costs a lot more. I don't know why. But Divide will give a lot. And then Captain says, so Luster is the last class they are releasing. I can't say that's the last class. I have no clue how they're going to continue the PSO2 stuff over here. All I know is that Luster is the might be the last class for episode 6 before they might do something else. Once they release NGS, I don't even know when NGS is supposed to release as well in terms of the actual month. I know it's released next year, which is in 2021. But in terms of what they're doing exactly for PSO2, that's up in the air. Episode 6 is coming to a close. They are going to wrap up the story in September, I think, from what I remembered on the update, the news and stuff. So yeah, Denju says, ah yes, I guess I'll go back to Divide. Yeah, in Divide you'll get a bunch of stuff, like the dim weapons. Yeah, you'll get a bunch of 13 stars and 14 stars. You can trade into dim weapons so you can get 5x cubes. But you can also desensitize these dim weapons so you can get the crafting materials that you will need to do certain things like getting a liberate weapon. Although, if you have a bunch of those resources and you don't need to do that, then you can just trade in these dim weapons for X cubes and it'll stack because there's like a ton of dim weapons. Like right now in this character storage, I have several dim weapons in here. The reason why I have these dim weapons though is because if I plan to do a bunch of weapon affixes, especially upslotting those fuckers to an 8 slot, I'm gonna need something, and dim weapons have those high slot numbers. So yeah. Anyways, let me try to empty out this fucking storage of mine. Yeah, the thing is, right now, Affix Week in terms of selling catalysts in soul ones might be able to give you a profit. That's questionable. The Reverie ones, they're not as high because of the fact that we got the Persona emergency quest. Can't remember the actual name for it, but because of the Persona emergency quest, Reveries are dropping like candy and people aren't charging these things as high, which you can use to your advantage, because if you need to make these things, you can. Or if you want to make Mana Reverie, you can make it yourself at an affordable price, and hopefully you have a decent amount of money to make these Mana Reveries. I would say like roughly around 100 mil, depending on what the slot number is and depending on your luck. June says also, right now I'm working on an 8 slot of fixing without all the expensive stuff like Mana Rev. Is it worth investing in like budget 8 slots using Persona Revs and Sentence Shoot? Or should I keep getting Meseta for those hard end game affixes? There's a couple ways you can do this, June. One of them would be ability transfer. That one is the safest method in trying to go from a low slot number to a high slot number. Like if you decide to, let's say, work with those hard abilities at a 5 slot, that will be cheaper in a sense, because you wouldn't need to go nuts with some of the prices that are on the market. I should actually change the title to the Q&A stuff for fixing. So if you have it at a 5 slot, then you can slowly add more abilities when you get the money for certain pop items, special ability items. Like the grand, let's say you want to emphasize heavily on your on your T attack. So there is a pop item for that. It's called Grand Technique. This is going to give you plus 60 in T attack, plus 20 HP, and plus 5 PP. That is a lot. And you can see that this thing costs 55 mil. If you don't have 55 mil on you, then you can wait until you get to that, and then you can do the ability transfer process to get from like the 5 slot to a 6 slot. If you haven't seen my video talking about it, I do have it in my fixing playlist, or in my channel somewhere. If you want me to link it, I can. But like, if I were to stare at the catalysts, for example, because let's say you may not want to actually make these fuckers, because I don't blame you. If you're doing it on, if you're fixing right now over here in the Japanese PSO2, I would say attempt to, but pay attention to the numbers. For example, the catalyst over here at an 8 slot, it's 10 mil. The reason why it's not as high is because, once again, it's a Persona emergency quest, and that plays a factor into this. If you were to go for a 5 slot catalyst, Reverie catalyst, you can see that's roughly around 3 mil. Now, if you want to do a bit of math and figure out, you know, if you should buy one right off the bat or if you should try to make one, you're going to have to stare out all the different Reveries. You can farm for some of these. For example, Persona Rev, if you do the Masquerade Ultimate Quest. Yeah, Ultimate Quest, you can do it. And what happened to my music? Oh, decided to stop. Like, you can see, Persona Rev does not cost as much for a 5 slot. It's only 100,000. So, 100,000 for that one. How about Double Rev? How much is that one at a 5 slot? Rough around 300,000. So, 400,000 right there. Loser Rev. Loser Rev, rough around 100,000. So, that's like 500,000 right there. Apogina, 250,000, but let's round it up to 300,000. I just lost my numbers, but I think we're at 800,000 right now in terms of the cost, and then Elder Reverie. So you're spending roughly around 1,100,000, 1,200,000 if you decide to buy these pieces and gamble and try to make a 5 slot Reverie catalyst. Now, if you're able to succeed in that first go, then you'll be able to save a decent amount of money. However, if you were to do it 2, 3, even 4 more times, you'll be going above the original cost that is set on the market. So you're gonna have to figure out if you want to gamble on that. If not, then if you just want to get your hands on a catalyst, without having to gamble and get to that point where it goes beyond this cost, you might want to buy them straight up. And then how about a 4-slot unit that has crack 4, mana rev, Effector, and shop? That one is gonna be the safe one, because that's how I started off. Like, do I have my units on me? I think I swapped out. Okay, so let me show you my unit piece. So, which one is the best one? So this one right here. This one was originally a 4-slot. The 4 abilities that made up the 4th slot is the Astral Soul, Effector, Mana Rev, and Crack 5. Because I was able to do the ability transfer process, I was able to get that 4th slot immediately into a 6th slot without having to deal with the up-slot penalty. But 1, you need a pop item, and 2, you're going to need an S-class ability that's already on it. So if I were to... let me demonstrate it with this light stream over here. Now this light stream, if I wanted these abilities, for example, you can see that the abilities on this light stream, it's at a 4th slot. And it's a lot easier to actually work with the 4th slot and then work your way up to your ideal number. The only problem with you doing the ability transfer process, it eats up ability transfer items or the materials you need. The particular item will look like this. Ability transfer passes. You'll need a lot of these. If you are trying to get an 8 slot, or if you finalize anything at an 8 slot, you will eat up 100 of these things. When it comes to getting them on a regular basis over here in the Japanese PSO2, you will need to trade in at least 20 class cubes of certain classes. So if you go over here to the recycle shop attendant and you go to the second to last option over here, you can trade in, apparently it did a refresh for me, you can trade in your certain class cubes to get these passes, so I'm going to do that now. You can farm for these by leveling up your classes, again, once they hit cap, or you can go to the Masquerade and beat him up and hope that he drops like a bunch of class cubes. There's also a chance that certain emergency quests at ultra hard difficulty will give you class cubes as well. I'm gonna have to work on Fighter again, because I don't have anything for Fighter, fuck. Braver, I need to play with Braver again, in all honesty. I have a bunch of Phantom X Cube, it's because I've been playing on Phantom a lot. I need to give love to some of the other classes. But yeah, now I need to work on Fighter. So yeah, you can see that I just got like 30 passes right there, but that's a monthly thing, so you can't rely on that as much. So yeah, 4th slot, for example, I bet someone would actually finalize this because they would know some people would buy it as it is. So let's see. Alright, so this is the Astral Soul Effector by itself. Let's see if someone decides to put a Mana Rev as well as a final piece. Alright, so that's a problem. That is something you might want to consider. Yeah, some people actually finalize that certain piece. Like, for example, my unit piece that I have right now, the one with Astral Soul, Effector, Mana Rev, and Doom Break 2. Apparently, that's on the goddamn market. The problem with Doom Break 2, it is okay, but it doesn't really emphasize a lot on the other stats. If you were to really get Astral Soul Effector in your unit piece, it's most of the time they do that, they would want to emphasize on those other stats as well. Like, if you were just to focus on a certain attack and a PP or attack and HP, I wouldn't go for Astral Soul. I would go for something that's cheaper and affordable. Like, if you just want to emphasize on attack, go for Apprentice. If you want to emphasize on attack and PP, go for Tilda Soul, Active Soul, Magic Soul. No point for you to actually go nuts and get Astral Soul and make this a bit complicated. The reason why people will go with Effector is because of all the factors that are out there. Effector actually gives you the most in terms of attack and PP, or attack and something else. Mana Rev, obviously you want that because it's a fucking plus 50 in terms of attack. And then June says, thanks for the help. I guess I'll start by getting more Meseta. Yeah, to get Meseta, there's a couple ways to go about it. If you're able to gamble and make catalysts, well, since you're trying to make those certain abilities as well, then yeah. I would say this will ultimately fall on your playstyle and what you personally think about it and your budget. I would say invest in these hard abilities because they will last you a while, especially if you decide to put this on a unit. Now, weapons, that's gonna be tricky. Now, the thing about weapons is that they have the S-class abilities. This plays a huge factor into customizing your playstyle and choosing what you can do for certain things. You're gonna have to read all the different S-class abilities though to figure out what you want specifically. Even though weapons do change constantly here and there, because of S-class abilities, they're making certain weapons stay for a long time. Like, even though we have like another new grade of 15 stars over here in the Japanese PSO2, the Lightstream and the Atlas are still around and they can still do a good amount of work. So, yeah, you'll definitely need money to toy around with it. I would say you would want to, at least, if you plan to get the hard-ass affixes like Astro Soul, Mana Rev, Ether, do it at a low slot and then build your way through ability transfer if you want the safe way. If you want to get it right off the bat, then you're going to have to plan it accordingly. If you want to get it at a 6 slot, for example, then you would need to get a bunch of fodder pieces at the 6 slot. You're going to have to toy around with the market, and once again, when it comes to boost week, this will increase certain prices drastically. Like with the Reveries, you don't see a huge jump in prices, but you saw earlier when I was staring at like Returner 1, for example. This is an ability you would definitely want to farm if you can. But yeah, like just for a Returner 1, this motherfucker is roughly around like 10 mil. Compared to like the Returner 3 ability that's at a 1 slot, you can see that's at a 7 mil. If you know your fixes, you'll understand why this isn't as good as like a Returner 1 in terms of how to get to that point and how to actually utilize this. The reason why they're emphasizing on the Returner 1s more than the Returner 3s is if you see my video talk about how to get from a Returner 1 all the way up to grade 5, you will want to build your way up. A Returner 1 is easier to toy around with and get to the certain slot number that you're trying to aim for compared to like a Returner 3 that's at a 1 slot. If you already have a Returner 3 at a 1 slot, you can work with it. It's just that it's a Returner 3. You can't easily transfer this, or you can't easily get the higher grade version unless you have 3 of them. What was I doing on this character? I was gambling, or I was trying to figure out what the fuck to do with this. Yeah, the problem right now is that, once again, if you have a bunch of Reveries, they're not selling as much. Or, in terms of getting a ton of Meseta, it's not high up there. Most likely, yeah, you can sell these Reveries and you can get a profit, especially with, like, the Catalysts. Because I think they are buying the Catalysts at, like, this slot number at what it is. At the same time, though, you gotta make it worthwhile for someone to spend money on these things. And also, you gotta also consider if, like, people stare at the other prices as well. Like, if I wanted to stare at the Elder Reverie at an 8 slot, if they're able to do their math and figure it out, it's gonna be like, okay, hey, wait a second. I can spend cheap and try to gamble to get to that 8 slot instead. And as long as I don't reach that certain number, if I don't go past 10 mil in worth of trying to make it, then I can actually make a profit off of it, or I can use it for myself. The problem is, if you have a lot of slot numbers on a weapon in our unit, you will have to try to figure out what you need to put exactly and how you need to manipulate this. Even though you would try to sell something like this, for example, you got a bunch of other competition too, because you got to consider the fact that other people are going to be in that same mindset and they're going to make a bunch of catalysts at these slot numbers. So you're going to have to make it unique in a way. Like, instead of just having a Reverie Catalyst, maybe you will want to put a glare on it. I don't know what sort of glare. Let's say Metra Glare, maybe? I don't know if someone's going to have this. Why is it 7 mil? 75 mil? This shouldn't be 75 mil for that sub piece. That's a bit of a huge charge. If they had something else in there, let's say, what I was trying to do earlier was actually combine Arc's Fever with Metric Glare and Reverie Catalyst, because that'll be able to boost like certain numbers. And you can see that there's no specific fodder piece for that, so if you're able to make that, then you can put a certain fixed price on it. The only problem is if someone decides to do the same thing and then they compete with you, you're going to be fighting on who's going to try to sell it. And also, this is going to be quite one of the things that you can literally tour around with, or you can compete with and just emphasize on, and then you'll be able to have a bunch of different Meseta costs. Like, yes, crafting is good in its own sense, but it's not like you can really sell it, especially if people go out of the way to do a bunch of crafting themselves, and they can get different percentages and perks and stuff with their crafts. It's like, why would you want to buy it off of the market compared to doing some of these hard-ass affixes where it's like, if it's a really good affix and someone really fucking wants it, then they will pay a certain price for it because it's an affix. Persona Revs. What was I doing with these Persona Revs? Oh wait, no, I know what I was doing. Let's see if I have another piece I could gamble with. Once again, also, when it comes to affixing, it's fucking gambling. Depending on how you feel about that concept in itself, just be careful when you do it. Especially if you have a lot of money, be careful when you do it. Unless you can control it and be like, okay, hold up. Maybe I should try something else instead of doing this. Or like, maybe I need to lessen the painful loss when it comes to my money game. Or me using money to get certain things. Alright, let's see if I have an Arc's Fever. Alright, I got a couple S6 slots still. This one, for example, I can tour around with. I don't know if I have... I have Metras. So that... Fuck. That's at a 5 slot. I could gamble with this. And then, oh god, I ain't gonna pronounce. Vaughn says, since you're streaming on Japan, are questions restricted to Japan, or will you answer any questions too? I can talk about both. It's just that if you are gonna be very specific about like certain things, like what the price is over there for certain abilities, for NA, I won't be able to answer that. But it's not limited to just Japan. You can talk to me about NA as well, unless I'm unaware of like certain things. If you have any questions about the future for NA, though, you can definitely ask as well. Not just for Japan. PSO2 is pretty much the same, it's just that there will be differences here and there. For example, like how I bitched about the fresh shop over there in NA and the Battle Pass. Yeah, not a big fan of those. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, they are obviously trying to milk money out of the players over there. And if people weren't aware of it, then, yeah, it sucks. But, business standpoint, yeah, I get it. Now, who do I need to point a finger at? I don't know, it's either Microsoft, Sega, or both. Alright, Vaughn says, oh no, I was just wondering if you think it was worth it fixing currently in NA. Hell no, it's not. Well, let me correct myself. In terms of at least getting something onto weapons and our units, then yes, you would want to put affixes on there. It doesn't have to be the grandest of affixes. You don't need to go with a fucking modulator, for example. You don't see a lot of players over here in the Japanese PSO2 in terms of their endgame affixes with modulators. Modulators, it is good if you farm for it and you use it and you didn't pay anyone for it. Like if you farm for it because they pop up during your advanced quest runs, you have a bunch of modulators. You can either one, sell them, get a profit off of that, or two, you use them yourself temporarily. Because I still have a bunch of old stuff from farming stuff, and it's best to try to farm for these abilities over in NA, or the temporary abilities you have in NA compared to buying it, especially if you want to have decent affixes. You don't need to have the best affixes over there. There's a lot of things that I have a question mark about with NA, because you guys are actually hitting a shit ton harder than what we did in the past. Like, some gameplays, some videos I saw over in NA, they're hitting at like 50,000, 50Ks, 40K, 30K. And in the past, we didn't hit those grand numbers as much unless you really had good affixes and weapons at that time. So I got a question too, if NA toyed around with some of the mobs and boss settings and lowered down the defense or something. I can't say, I don't know. And there's also the fact that I heard that people were struggling with like extra hard content as well, especially against like the Profound Darkness. Heard that a lot of people were fucking up on those runs here and there. There's still complaints about people not knowing what the fuck to do and stuff. Like, NA, like, the thing is, if you want to get through NA with like just the minimal stuff, or at least a certain budget, you don't need to have like the best effects and stuff. You need good, decent equipment though. You need to make sure you grind your weapons and our units, and you need to make sure you have a weapon that actually suits your playstyle as well, and a weapon potential that suits you. So Spence says, you used to watch you when you stream Dragon Blades. I'm also a massive PSO fan, but prefer the original. I see. I remember back on Japan when you need premium to own. Oh god. Oh, are you talking about the past? Shit. Oh god. I don't know how I feel about the damn past, Spence. It was a struggle. It was something as well. And when they did a huge changeover from episode 3 to episode 4 with that shit, I got pissed off. But at the same time, I was like, holy shit. The new players are gonna get spoiled as hell. Not a bad thing, but at the same time, it's not like you got people in NA can't really compare to what the Japanese episode 1 to 3 was, because that was hard. Like, some of the shit that's going on right now, like, you guys can buy 13 star over there in North America. In the Japanese PSO2 back then, you couldn't buy that shit. 13 stars, you had to farm for it. And not only that, when it comes to getting 10 stars, 11 stars, and even 12 stars, you had to get a pass for that. So, yeah, it's like shit. I don't blame you, Spence. Like, here's the thing about North America. There's a shit ton of people over there in North America. And I know some people over here in the Japanese PS2, they're switching between the two. But I know that there are some people who completely dumped Japan for North America. If you haven't really gone through, like, some of the intro stuff, or if you haven't played Japanese PS2 at all, and you want a decent fresh start, or at least get through the various checkpoints, turning points for PSO2, NA is out there for you. You can start from the beginning. It's not going to be that complicated. Japanese PSO2, you can easily get into it, but at the same time, once you hit in-game content, it's going to be like a brick wall in a sense, or you're going to be spamming the same stuff over and over again. So I don't blame those who dump Japanese for NA. There's also some other things I want to point out as well, but I'll try to save that for a separate video. And then Zio Mantic, I think that's your name. Apologize if I was. And then Zio says the first month of Japan were brutal. Yeah, I heard that when it comes to like 2020 stuff, like if you started in the alpha and beta stages, I think you guys had it rough. Like, I tip my hat to you guys, because I heard that like back then 9 stars. I think it was 9 stars. 9 stars, 10 stars, I think 11 stars as well were hard as hell to get as a drop. That's what I want to say too. I'll make a video kind of emphasizing on that. Like, NA is spoiled. Like, it's not bad, but at the same time, it's like don't try to compare it to the past with DO type shit and all the things that Japan has to go through, especially in episode 1 to 3. Because yeah, we didn't get drops left and right. We didn't get 13 stars off the bat. Like, searching up a 13 star to buy it, yeah, that wasn't a thing. You had to farm for those fuckers. And when it comes to like high rarities, especially in 1 and 2, like in episode 2, getting a 12 star was atrocious. It was a super rare drop. If you got your hands on a 12 star, praise the fucking RNG gods. And then Zio says, Miss Alpha but was there throughout closed open beta. I didn't see my first 11 star till sometime in episode 2. Yeah, I got in during like 2014 episode 2 when they were introducing the Braver class. So I was able to get like an 11 star, my first 11 star from the emergency quest. I think it was in the driving range too, or like whatever the old Rock Bear quest was. I still have my old 11 star too. It's in my basic storage. Here's my first 11 star right here. This weapon right here, the Zam. Ah, shit. And then Zio's like, Psychomon in episode 1, microscopic drop rates. Yeah, a lot of people really wanted that. My first 12... Here's the thing. When I was getting into the game in episode 2, I didn't realize 12 stars were like a drop, and they were fucking rare. The one 12 star I was able to get, if I can find it, is this thing right here. The Eatable Arrow. This was a 12 star drop from a loser. I didn't know this was a drop. I was like just looking into my inventory, and I noticed that this thing had 3 yellow stars compared to 2. So I had to ask my friends like, what does it mean when there's like 3 yellow stars? And they were like, that's a 12 star. I was like, ew, yeah. I got this to drop randomly. But yeah, like, holy shit. The sad part is I never used this as much back then, cause I was just maining the katana more than the bow. But yeah, like, another thing is, when it comes to, like, episode 1 and 2 as well, we did not have... Hey there, Alice, how you doing? In episode 2... Oh god, episode 1 and 2, guess what? When it comes to the amount of materials you can select, right now you can select up to 5. But in the past, we were restricted to just 2. So, that was bad, just having 2. People didn't have like 5 slot, 6 slot abilities and all that jazz. And better yet, since I'm also talking about the past too, let me show you one of my old unit pieces. So, the unit piece I'm going to show you is pretty much the Saki unit piece that everyone was emphasizing on over there in NA, but then they released Ray weapons and now that is better than the 11 star. When it comes to figuring out what unit series to go for over there in NA, go for the 12 stars because that will give you a lot more survivability. They got a lot more perks to them. Like, yes, an 11 star can give you a full set and stuff, and you can craft... I don't know if you can craft it over there, actually. But the thing is, 12 stars can give you a ton more stuff. So, let me pull up my sake. So, I never got rid of these fuckers. Now, I did have another set, I think. It wasn't in... I had another set that actually had the Astro Soul, I think. But I got rid of it because I was trying to get the Astro Soul to transfer over to other unit pieces as well. But yeah, this thing right here, for example, this is what I was trying to make around the end of episode 3 before they added a bunch of shit, and I got pissed off because I spent a decent amount of money on this old-ass unit piece. Oh, Zio says, former Katana Braver main here too. I still have mine too. Nice. Yeah, I want to play Bravers. I mean, Braver isn't that bad now. It's just that I, got rid of my Katana because I swapped it over to some other weapon, so I need to make a new Katana. But secondly, I just need to get used to the feel again, I guess. I've been playing too much Phantoms. Alice says I have like 30 minutes left till my classes start. Oh. What class are you taking first? But yeah, when it comes to this piece, this was, well, ignoring the Magiso, you would want to put like Apprentice over there instead. But this was like the quote-unquote hard-ass abilities that people were aiming for during episode 2 and episode 3. Instead of having Magiso, for example, it's going to be Apprentice So, you can have Modulator, Flint, Technique 4, and then whatever the add special item is over there. I think this is the grade 2 type, so you got like Technique boost. That was like the first grade, and then you got Noble Technique, and then you get Grades, and then Elegant. Can't remember which one goes first. And then you got Grand Technique, which is the thing that we have over here. But yeah, this was my heavy T-attack unit that I was going to give to my Fire Mage, or one of my Force characters. They did a number of work with these unit pieces, but yeah. Now this one, for example, was something I decided to go for temporarily. This was back then in episode 2 for sure. Actually, no, excuse me. Sake units weren't a drop until episode 3, so this is something that I ran with throughout most of episode 3. I think it was back in 2015 and into 2016. So Apprentice Cell ability 3. I should have swapped the ability 3. I was just a fan of it, so I always put it on my unit piece here and there. So Apprentice Cell shoot 3 ability 3, same fever and its shooting boost. This gives at least plus 120 attack, along with like a bit of PP and some other stats as well. A very cheap ability that formula you can go for over there, if I remember correctly, is this thing right here. So pretty much this could give you 100 attack in terms of whatever you're going for, like S or T or R attack. It doesn't give you all 3, but it's something to work with. And this is pretty cheap too, because Apprentice Cell helps boost a modulator and get, like, if you're farming advanced quests a lot and you bump into Apprentice and clones, you'll be able to use this sort of formula to your advantage. Now the fever, that's questionable because, you know, it's a seasonal one. Shouldn't be that bad, but people are charging a shit ton over there for fevers, especially at certain slot numbers. Be careful when you buy them. I would not pay a stupid amount to get these fevers. Try to farm them if possible. Or better yet, if someone's selling like the lower slots for cheap, then I would actually upslot that instead of buying it at a 4th slot. So for example, this thing can give at least plus 110 T attack and plus 2 PP. Not as much, but if you do your math, if you're able to get these affixes on all 3 unit pieces, that can go to 330. And once again, it doesn't cost as much. Oh, yeah. I get pissed off at how they like change some of these names. I think Apprentice Cell is still Apprentice Cell. I like how they keep some fucking names as they are, but then it's like they changed the majority of them. For example, Technique 3, it's called something else over there. Strike? No, it's not Strike Power. What is it fucking called? I don't even know what the name is over there. They call it something else. Casting. Casting. I think it's called fucking casting. What the fuck does it mean by fucking casting? Jesus Christ. Yeah, yeah, I don't know what to say about the fact that they changed the names. Man, I'm talking about a bunch of affixes and weapon shit, but I'm not actually doing anything in game. I might just chill and just figure out. Actually, no, I know what I was trying to do. I was trying to figure out. Alright, so I'll do a bit of gambling on screen. Actually, can I? Can I? Can I? Yeah, the problem is I think I don't have enough metras to, at a 5 slot, to push this. Never mind, I have 1. 1 is enough. Now, the other question is, did I take out a bunch of Persona Revs at a 5 slot? Persona Rev is there. Take this, take this. Alright, gambling time. And then Vaughn says, like, even just basic stuff like stats. Melee attack, really? It's been 5 attack in most of the games. Yeah, it's, I don't know why they make it a long-ass name, like melee attack. They should have just stick with power. I mean, they kept some of the names of other things as well, like I think they kept Dudu's name, for example, and Monica's name as they are. It would be it would irritate me if they didn't keep their goddamn names if they had something else. Also, is my voice audio fine? I just realized that my music audio might be a tad too loud. Question mark. Alright, so yeah, this is gambling right here. Now the good thing about fevers, you can never get rid of them unless the upslot penalty will fuck you over, or you ignore the fever and you go for something else. RX fever is always something you can work with, and you can easily get money from having RX fever. So if you are playing on like PSO2 day, for example, try to farm for RX fever. I might actually do a demonstration of how like you can easily get like something that a 2 slot to like a higher grade. And you said everything's alright? Alright, just making sure. Alright, so RX Fever, you can see 100%. Persona Rev, obviously not 100%, but I'm gonna gamble with this because I'm trying to push this to the 6 slot. You can see that almost everything is transferable except the Persona Revving Metric Glare. Gonna use a 40%, gonna gamble with this. Of course dudes get fuck me over. Damn you, doo-doo. Now, am I really losing anything out of this? Not really. Like, as long as I can keep that fever, it is good. And then Alice says, nope, you're fine. I can hear you. Gotcha. Double Elder. Damn it. I don't want to use those abilities. Like, if it has a soul along with something I need to use, I would have to, like, think about it. Because if I try to make Astra Soul, then I would want these. Actually, ooh, there's some 5 slots here. Actually, I just used the fucking Metro, didn't I? Yeah, I used Metro. Fuck. I might need to buy this. Shouldn't be that bad. Like, Metric Glare right now, at a 5 slot, piece of cake. It should be like 100,000. Yep, not bad. That's like easy money to regain again as well, especially if you've been farming in game. I do need to make videos about that. You will see it in due time, talking about like the fixed ways to get income or meseta from PSO2. And by fix, I'm referring to methods that are safe and the game cannot fucking cheat you in any way, shape, and form. The only way they can cheat you with these methods is if they program stuff differently. Anything to do with the player market, that is gambling. Like, yes, there are some fixed stuff that is concrete and it's there and it can't really fucking cheat you. But at the same time, you're dealing with people. People are unpredictable. Some of them are predictable, some of them aren't, but yeah, it's just that's a factor you can't really control. Like, the fact that prices will spike in a certain way and stuff. What photon boosters used for? I am going to make a video mentioning that as well. I would advise you that if you're playing on North America, not to spend your photon boosters as much on... What do they have over there? I can't remember what they have. But don't use them on weapon camos especially. I mean, if there's a certain weapon camo you really want, then go for it. And if you're farming advanced quests still, you'll get a bunch of them regardless. But you want to stock up a lot of them because you'll need to convert that into ultimate boosters. Like, ultimate boosters, those are the things you would want a shit ton of. Because, I mean, eventually you'll get a bunch of quests where you can farm for them. Oh, fuck, no, I'm not using a 30%. I don't mind burning these 40% once again. I'm kind of saving money in a sense, and also I can always get more X cubes. So, over here in the Japanese PSO2, if you talk to the Photon Drop Shop, there's going to be an option to change the Photon Boosters. Now you can get some weapon camos. What the fuck? I don't remember these weapon camos. Some of them look pretty good. Anyways, I was kind of surprised about like these ones, for example. So what you want to do with these photon boosters specifically, you want to exchange them for an ultimate booster. Now the conversion is 90 photon boosters for an ultimate booster. When they introduce this over there in North America, it's going to be hard for ultimate boosters to drop. It is going to be an RNG drop, but eventually you'll start getting some more content when they start to introduce this stuff, where it will drop through various means. For example, the best way to get ultimate boosters over here in the Japanese PSO2 would be to go and do Divide Quest. Divide Quest can give you a fixed drop per character if they are able to do this and get in a certain amount of points. For example, if I go over here, for example, you go to weekly records, Weekly point rewards. If you get 250,000 points from doing Divide within that week for that character, they can get 5 full ultimate boosters. And also like 10 pure photons as well. You'll need these. And you'll need these for the 15-star upgrades. And some other things such as like... there are some weapons that would actually need... So when you unlock a weapon, you get the weapon potential. And it might have other options as well. But then there's also another weapon potential upgrade that might kick in the future, and you might need to use photon boosters for that. I mean, ultimate boosters for that. So a good example of you using the ultimate boosters is if you were trying to get some of these higher 15, these upgraded 15 stars. For example, if you were to get the... It's not the first 3 15 stars, it's like later on. Like the delivery, for example, this will demand a decent amount of ultimate boosters. When it comes to the Puros weapons, the 15 stars that are up there right now, it requires a bunch of ultimate boosters as well. So yeah, that's where you use your photon boosters. And then it was still gambling. Oh wait, I went up there so I can try to get 40%. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do a live demonstration. There is something I need to do in terms of weapon affixes, but I'm debating about doing it as an actual live stream or doing it in a video. Now, yesterday I released a video where I was talking about how I got like 11,000 fucking X cubes. It went down to 8,000 because I've been spending for these damn 40%. This is a tad annoying because I like having a bunch of X cubes just in case. But at the same time, if I'm gonna save money by trying to increase the percentage and getting these materials for myself so I can use it for X, Y, and Z, it's not a huge loss. It's more of a benefit, an investment, something I can do. Now, if I was gambling and trying to get a bunch of money off of it, I would rather use the 30% that I have and hold on to those X cubes and sell those for fixed income instead, or, you know, get a bunch of Meseta by selling a bunch of grinders in. And, yeah. Alright, so Metras. And it's gonna be 5 slots. 5 slot Persona, Reveries. Yes, I will do this. Don't want to use that. Push this. Alright, so this succeeded. Now, I might actually need to spend a bit of Meseta so I can get Elder Reverie. I should have the other types of Reveries in my storage. I got a double rev. I'm gonna take that. I need an Apergina rev again. I think I'm running low on those at a 6 slot. Yes, I am. I already got Persona. Yes, I'm still listening to this. What else? Wait, did I just get a Persona? No, a Pergina. Loser. Now, these Reveries, you guys can't really farm yet because this was added in episode 5. If you're playing on North America, I advise you to actually go for the soul variant. So any of the Dark Fowls bosses, you would want to try to get their souls because you would want to try to make Astro Soul over there. Unless they called it something else. Let me make sure they didn't call it anything else over there for North America. Let me pull up the PSO2 simulator. I got a feeling they called it something else. Let's see. What the fuck? Excuse my language, by the way. Okay, so they kept Astro Soul as Astro Soul, but they Hold on, I need to pull this up on the screen. What the fuck is this shit? What is this thing? What? Magi. Okay, Magi seems the same, but they decided to say instead of saying Magi to so it's Magi Dice Diesel DI. The fuck is this? They call it, wait, they call it Aries Elise? Are they trying to be French on me? These names, these conversions, these fucking names. Alright, so yeah, where was I? I was talking about something. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, Dark Files bosses. Yeah, try to get their souls. So you can try to make Astral, or at least sell it, so people can buy, make it themselves. Yeah, I need to get a loser. At a 6-slot if possible. Did I use all of my 6-slot ones? Shit. Not a big fan of that. However, I do have this 5-slot which I can toy around with and then push. So I can get a loser. Now, for this particular piece that I'm going to toy around with, I am not going to use the 40%. I'm actually going to use the 30, just so I can save those 40%. So this thing right here gets a loser. I'm on 3, so I can increase the chances as high as I can. Goes over here, do this, don't use anything, go down here, select these. Everything's at 100 except the loser. It got to a 6-slot. And then Vaughn says hashtag just NA things. Yeah, and then Captain says extension storage permanent. I wish it was, but it's not. Like over here in the Japanese PSO2, if I pull it up, when it comes to buying the storage, you have a certain amount of days for it. You can buy different storages, but you got 30 days or 90 days. If it was permanent, I would be fucking happy as hell, because I can use so much of these different storages. Like, all 5 of my important storages that I have, they're locked. And there's like a ton of crap in each one of these storages. Except like 3. 3 is like the least. The extra storage one, obviously you can use Star Gems to get this one. I haven't renewed mine yet because I am low on Star Gems because of this scratch. And then Vaughn says, the funny thing is, Arc Slaves did like 90% of the work for Sega. Literally, all they had to do was ask for the translation files, but no. You know what's funny too? The people that are doing like PSO2 Tweaker, the teams behind that, or the people behind that, they were able to fix a bunch of the complications that Microsoft has during its release, and also like whatever was going on with the Microsoft Store and people downloading that shit, and the problem was like a bunch of fucking installation crap. Like, why is the Tweaker team better than the fucking Microsoft team? That's kind of bad, in a sense. And if they're able to fix Microsoft problem, why doesn't Microsoft kind of like, you know, go out of the way to try to recruit people from that team to help them on in their stuff? Like, it's kind of a shame for the people that translate the shit being able to do the technical stuff and fixing all the complications and issues with the installations. I knew something bad was gonna happen upon the installation stuff, but I didn't realize it was gonna be that bad. Actually, why were they going over there? I need Elder Rev. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with this unit piece that I am making. Actually, no, not a 5-slot, 6-slot. I was like, just hire 8 already. I still remember some of the, actually, I don't think I'll say it, just because I do respect them in a sense. There was like some stuff that happened in the Japanese PSO2 with their name, and I don't know if it was actually true with the leaked files that they had, but yeah, that was something. Alright, for Metra, I still need... Got 1 6-slot. So this is going to be a gamble, guys. I just realized this is not how my... Oh wait, no, that's why I did it. Okay, so... Persona. Double. Aphrodina. I just bought an Elder, so it's somewhere. Elder. And I'm gonna need a loser. And I did it with the sub card. So not gonna use anything. Let's see if this works. Where's my metric glare? Oh wait, that's a problem. Fuck. Not a huge issue, but this is gonna be another gamble. Hey there, Eddie. Good to see you streaming. How you been, man? I'm doing alright. In a sense, I don't know. In all honesty, like, I was gonna do a stream and start doing, like, cool fixes, but then I stopped myself and I was like, wait a second. I can't make a profit with these Reverie Catalysts. I've been stocking up on Reverie Catalysts, but everyone else is doing the same thing, so it's like, yeah, I'm not actually getting a shit ton of money off of this. Like, the factors, they have a lot more value compared to the other two. Like, Soul Catalysts, you can get something out of them. But it's going to be questionable because I don't know if people are trying to get Soul Catalysts and try to make a Master Soul. Most likely people will. But once again, if people are emphasizing heavily on attack, they would rather go for Mana Rev. Mana Rev, you can easily farm for, or at least get the materials for Mana Rev. So, it's like, can't really make a profit if it's accessible to everyone. Fact is, right now, they're doing a shit ton good in terms of profit, just because where can you farm factor stuff? All of the episode 4 emergency quests, other than like Zeus and Mother, like Yamato factor, how are we gonna farm the giant ass battleship when we can't farm the damn battleship right now? Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys playing on North America and you hear me talk about this damn battleship, farm that fucker. Because Yamato is going to be very scarce later when it comes to the future of PSO2. Like, when they spam that emergency quest and grab all those different slots and ignore them for maybe, I don't know, a couple months. And then they will skyrocket because if there's no quest that actually spams them, that demand will go high. Now the question is if anyone will plan to buy that during that increase. Alright, see ya, Alice. Thanks for stopping by. What is this emergency quest? So yeah, if you're playing on North America, you see Yamato, spam that fucker. You'll see Zeus and Mother a lot, but you will also want to take advantage of Mother at the very least. Especially since the drop pool will be narrowed to her when her emergency quests pop up. Zeus, you'll see him a lot. I mean, one of the expert requirement that we had to do over here, Japanese PSO2, is to fight the two people, the two bosses. But yeah, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I need another Metro. I need like several Metros at a 6th slot. Oh yeah, and if you guys are playing on NA and you're wondering why I mentioned how you can get a bunch of Meseta with the X cubes, the thing is you want to go over here, talk to them, get a bunch of grinders. You can sell the grinders from your inventory, but I would rather put it into my storage space, so I don't need to worry about it as much. And then just keep on doing this method here. I'll just do 4 stacks of them. Then go down here, go over here, sell from your storage. Go here, find the grinders. And then sell these. For roughly around like 400,000-ish. And boom, I made a decent amount of money right there. Older rifle worth getting. And then I just it's nice I logged in just in time for TD. Time to get my Sky Dance break. Oh yeah, that does drop from that older rifle. Let's see. Let me pull that up so I can stare at what it can give you. Because I don't know all these weapons off the top of my head in terms of weapon potential. I think people mention Elder Rifle in the past. Where's the ARX Visa phone when I need to stare at this particular weapon? What is it? 12 star? 15? No, it's not 15 star, obviously, but where is the Elder? Apparently it's an 11 star, but there's also another one somewhere. Alright, so when it comes to the potential that I'm staring at, from what I'm seeing, it reduces PP consumption by, let's say if it's at level 3, there's the Phantom Bullet, which reduces PP consumption by 20% while special bullets are loaded. Or you would want to get Crest of Carnage, which boosts damage by 9% when HP is 50% or lower. Would that be a good weapon to get? That is a good question. And then Vaughn says, there's a 50% Meseta boost on Extreme Quest. Pretty dope, NA. Gotcha. Yeah, that would be good, especially if you plan to farm it. The problem is, over there in NA, you can't, there's no point to really farm Extreme Quest unless we're trying to get, like, Flint abilities or Trio Alter abilities. What was I staring at? Elder. Now, for the Elder Rifle, from what I just read in terms of the potential, that will vary. I think the other thing that I need to stare at would be... Okay, I thought the Elder Rifle was like an all-class weapon, but it's not. The potentials would... The weapon will work if you can actually use those potentials to your advantage. So if you were to have loaded bullets, especially, that would be a plus side. The Crest of Carnage potential, for example, the one where you had to have your HP below 50, so you can get a damage boost, that's also good. If you make sure you can stay in those certain criteria. I would... I wanted to say you might want to toy around with Fighter Ranger, because Fighter does force you to go into... With the limit break, Fighter does push your HP down a certain threshold, and it is definitely below 50%. So if you have that Crest of Carnage ability, you're playing as a Fighter Ranger, well, yeah, it has to be something like Fighter Ranger, and you get that limit break to push your HP down, that would give you a lot of damage right there. But the problem is you're gonna have to toy around with the weapon so you can get the add class to that, so you can get it onto a fighter. And also to use Photon Arts and stuff, you will need Ranger somewhere in your class combo, so you either go Ranger Fighter, but if you go Ranger Fighter, you can't really use Limit Break, because Limit Break is only specifically for fighter mains. So, I mean, you can also push this to other scenarios as well, like if you purposely get your HP below 50, that would work. But, I don't know. I'm not a big Ranger main as well, or rifle heavy. Like, I use rifles for the Phantom class, but I can't really vouch for the Ranger. I'm not like a main in Ranger. I know like a couple other people that are good at playing Ranger class. I'm not one of them. I can play it, it's just that in terms of how I play it, I do more of a support role, and I try to focus on using my weak bullets and handling mobs when need be. Actually, wait a second. No, I should be able to fix that. Maybe I just skimmed over it. Maybe I did. Oh, that's why. Wait a second. Okay, that's why I was not thinking right. I was like, wait a second. This should not be an issue then. So I got Loser. I think I already got Persona. Then now I need Apergina. Double. Elder, where are you? Alright, now I can actually make the Affix. I was like, okay, wait a second. If this one has Metro, what the fuck am I doing? There we go. Gonna use a 40%. There we go. That is a successful one. Now I know that they don't have anything like this on the market. And the reason why I'm actually making a Metro instead of any other ability is because it does give the choice of S or R attack. Yeah, it gives plus 30 in S or R attack, and then gives all defense, by all defense referring to SRT, plus 20 HP, 20 and PP plus 2. So it's not that bad in terms of being a good universe, or well, not universal. It's like, it gives a decent amount of stats with it. So I got one of these. And this also has an Arc's Fever. And I just remember I was supposed to show you guys how I went about the fever stuff. So I'm gonna demonstrate that on the stream. I need a sub card though. Alright, so let me show you guys what the Arc's Fever looks like. Because, once again, if you're farming on NA, Arc's Fever is a thing. And out of all the different fevers, Arc's Fever would be the one that will give you a lot. Just because it's a fever. And you can make this into Arc's Max. It's like, Arc's Max is like the cheap version of Doombreak. It's just that Doombreak gives you PP as well. The Arc's Max only gives you plus 25 in terms of attack. Now you can use Arc's Fever in itself if you were trying to emphasize on like a bit of PP. But yeah, let me show you guys the price for certain Arc's Fever. So I don't care about the rarity stuff. So number of abilities out of one slot. Arc's Fever is roughly around 115. Alright, so that sounds cheap. What happens if I decide to put it to a 2 slot? Alright, that's cheap as well. 3 slot, cheap as well. 4 slots, starts to increase. 5 slots, that just fucking jumped from whatever that number was to like higher numbers. This 600k-ish into 1,500,000. Well, 1,600,000. Alright, so that was at a 5 slot. 6 slot. Roughly around 2 mil. Push it again. Now it jumped from 2 mil all the way up to this 4,819,500. And then this 18,900 for 8 slot. How am I so rich? I affix a lot. I do my own affixes, and I do a bunch of other things as well, especially play around with the market, do investments. I'll be able to cover that in separate videos, but yeah, that's how I was able to get to this money over here. Note that this isn't all my money. I have other items in my storage that can give me more as well. The biggest thing is, here's the thing. I mentioned this in my my new video talking about why you should affix. If you figure out what the game is doing in terms of where you're spending your money at, then you will want to take away one of these services. So if you were spending a lot of money in affixing, you can reduce this by 1, getting your own fodder pieces or farming for these abilities yourself. 2, you do the service in yourself. You don't want to pay for someone to do it when you can do it for yourself. And then 3, it's like you got the knowledge to toy around with some of these things, and if you know how to affix and you know which abilities people would want together, then you can sell them at certain prices and you can make those certain things that might interest someone. The only problem is getting a buyer and if it's gonna sell. Vaughn says, if you do the right missions, you can get upwards of 30k per run. Probably more with a full party. Yeah, if you have a party too, you get that passive boost that's going on. You get, if there's a passive, or if there's like, if there's that 50% incentive boost, you have a ticket for that, you can increase on that percent chance, just because you're using one as well. So if you have a 50% on you, there's a 50% from the quest, then you boost it up to 100. And then Trey says, my favorite affixing guru, man, you don't know how much you've helped me with your guides. I'm glad that I helped you with the affixing stuff. Because, once again, when I went through this shit, I didn't understand crap. Like, I was like, well, I understood it when I realized, oh shit, this is easy. But when people were trying to explain it, they made it overly complicated. I was like, what? You just need to break it down into like the bare bones, and then you add on to it. It's like, you know, a step-by-step process in terms of cooking something that you never cooked it before. What the fuck am I doing now? I still need to toy around with the 6 slot. That is good. This needs work on. Do I have 5 slots? I do. Do I have 5 slot personas? I think I do. Yes, I do. But the only problem I see with NA, especially with how you guys can get some of these endgame abilities that I've been mentioning, is the fact that you guys don't have receptors on units yet. I'm surprised they released Idola as a fun app game over there, which is okay because this gives you a way to get sergeants now. But that'll be the other problem I have is like how are you guys gonna get receptors in the units? Like soul receptors, factor receptors, those are important to get some of the abilities that I mentioned. Chris says, have you made anything with exceeding energy and divine order with the receptor being out? Ooh, I do not have an exceed receptor. I do have a divine receptor though. Although I am debating about toying around with a weapon with that, because the moment I put a divine, the moment I use a divine receptor and get a divine ability and finalize something with that, I will want to transfer those affixes from there on out. And I'm already using most of my ability transfer passes with a bunch of units, so I might want to hold off on using it. Now, there is I did mention the Guardian Soul that is supposed to come out, and I talked to someone that, I don't know if it's confirmed, that's the thing. They hinted at how you're supposed to get the Guardian Soul. Guardian Soul is like this new ability that's going to come out with like plus 70 in fucking stats. But when I was talking to this individual, they mentioned that this ability is going to be on a weapon only. So I don't know what to do. Like, I'm not going hardcore with my affixes just because of those new abilities. Now, Absolute Glare definitely would want to try to make that, but there will be a bunch of quests which will drop the right glares that we need. The problem I have is that Guardian Soul, because I want to grab it, but at the same time, I don't know how they are going to make the Guardian Soul. And I don't know if this is now going to be on a weapon only, or it's going to be for both. But yeah, if you do have those receptors, yeah, it's going to be, you're going to get a shit ton of attack on it. For example, if you just focus mainly on the marks, the exceed, the divines, they could give you like fucking 50 right off the bat. Actually, better yet, let's look at that. I don't think it's like 50 exactly for the exceed. It might be a bit more, along with the divide. Or divine, excuse me. Alright, so let's see what this looks like. So divine order, why is there one at a 2 slot? Divine order gives all attack plus 50, HP plus 20, plus 10 PP. That reminds me of Mana Reverie in a sense, except I think it gives a lot more in HP and PP. Then, what was it, Divine Will? I don't remember that one. Divine Will, that one gives what exactly? Now, these divine abilities, they are like marks. Once they are on... Are they like marks? So apparently this one, Divine Will, gives all plus 20, plus 5 PP. I might need a Tournament outfit. I think some of these divine boots... Yeah, I might need a Tournament outfit. There's a reason why there's a receptor for it. And if I stare at the price for the receptor... Wait. Why is this on a fucking unit piece? Is there a divine ability for units? Hold up, now I'm confused. Wait, what the fuck? Why did they put a divine ability on a unit? Hold up. Hold up. What's the point of putting a divine ability on the... No, wait, excuse me. Not divine ability on a unit. I'm confused to why they put a divine receptor on a fucking unit. If they do it later on, I guess, but like... What the fuck? Why? Unless someone's able... Like, okay, this makes sense. The weapon makes sense. The units... I'm just scratching my head at this. Unless... No, it can't be. Anyways, I'm a bit baffled at it. I don't think people purposely did this. It might have been a drop somewhere, but I'm trying to figure out where. No, it can't be a drop. Can it? Maybe? I don't know. They might have divine abilities later on units, but right now it's only on a weapon. Yeah, I figured like you can't make it, because I did toy around with it. It's just I was confused to why there was only like 3 slots and stuff. I guess it drops like as a common ability every now and then too. But yeah, so that's divine abilities. Let me go to Exceed. There's only Exceed Energy, and Exceed Energy... Okay, yeah, this is pretty good, because it gives all plus 50 in terms of attack, all plus 20 in defense, plus 20 in dex, plus 28 HP, plus 5 PP. So, if I were to compare this... Pretty much, it's like a mana rev, but it got a bunch of other goodies as well. So yeah, if you have a mark, you have a divine, you have Exceed, that could give you 150 right there. If you get a mana reverie in there as well, that's another 50, 200. Get a grand in there, that's another, well, that's 60 actually, so that's like 200 and 260. You put, what other abilities can you put? I don't think I mentioned Apprentice, so you could slap that on as well. That would be 300 right there. But yeah, like, just those 4 abilities in themselves, they can push the damn thing high. They might. I'm still baffled at it, because that's a huge mistake to put it on that. Unless someone just, like, looked at the units in itself, see someone put it on a unit, they decide to put it... Yeah, no. It could also be like a drop too, but I don't know. I highly doubt it is a drop. But damn, like... Yeah, I'm just scratching my head at that. Alright, so Metras. And we would need to push... Personas? Yes. Okay, yeah. Got my battle plan now. Yeah, that has me speechless. I don't know what to say about that. I have a Metra, but I need... Oh wait, no. I know what I need to do. There we go. Metra. Just need one of these, and then I can use these personas. And then we gamble, push this to 6 slot with these 3 main abilities. Nah, not gonna put a solo, that's a bit risky. Then use a 40%, push these numbers. That works. Now I need to get another Elder Rev. Try to get Loser, Hypergena, and all that jazz. Only thing is that sucks is I ran out of ability tickets. Do you know about the titles that you can get to get more of them? Because if you are level 95, if you get 10 classes to level 95, you can get a title which can give you 20 ability transfer passes. There's 3 other titles which you can get as well, but it requires you to actually do like a bunch of quests with these 10 different classes. But if you get these 4 titles, you can get 80 transfer passes from them alone. Damn it. I don't want to use this point. Damn you. Do I have anything that's at 6 slot? 6 slot? 6 slot? 6 slot. You got a printed solo. You have a loser still, so I'll take you. And then Eddie says, any word on what else they will be adding to the 8th anniversary Lotto exchange other than Sage Crest? I think it's just going to be Sage Crest. I don't find that as a huge issue, especially if you're trying to get it still in Puros. It's actually a plus side, because it's a 1-1 conversion, so if you have like 1 lottery ticket, you get 1 Sage Crest. So if you farmed a lot out of it, like let's say 1,000's worth, you can get 1,000 Sage Crests from it. The lottery, the amount of tickets you farm is most likely going to play a factor into you getting into the what is it, the random pull that they got going for the real life stuff and the in-game stuff. I think I only got 5 slots. I can just buy them. I might want to hold on to those 5 slots anyways, yeah. I'm gonna buy those, and I should be able to have a double. Now, I am gonna make a video later where I'm gonna show you guys how you can use S-Class abilities to your advantage, or the S-Class transfer to your advantage. Because I never emphasized it, and it took me a while to figure out how you can actually manipulate it to the point where you can abuse it. Well, yeah, let's go with abuse this time around. Actually, better yet, I could try to demonstrate it on the screen, and then I'll make it as its own separate video. I think I just pulled out a double, so I need a Progena. Is it me, or did that increase in price? I feel like people are buying the Reveries now, and that is slowly increasing. Because I think Progena wasn't at 400,000 earlier. Alright, so where's the unit piece I'm a toy around with? That has the catalyst. Do not want to fuck around with that. Elder Rev. I already got Persona on that. Progena. Loser. Double. I already got that. And I just need to have a metric glare. So don't do anything. We are gonna gamble with... For shits and giggles, why not? There we go. Bada beam, bada boom. Well, the recipe I'm cooking up right here is just because I have the fodder pieces to make it. It's not... I don't know if I plan to sell this. It does have worth because of that Arx Fever and the Catalyst especially if people were trying to focus on like attack. But this is the RX Fever Reverie Catalyst Metra Glare. You might be wondering, why am I going for Metra Glare? It's because it does give a boost in attack, and if you don't want to say go for something expensive like an Ether Factor, this can still fulfill most of the roles that Ether Factor was trying to do. Like Ether Factor, yeah, it can give Here's my unit piece. Like Ether Factor can do all plus 30, plus 10 HP, plus 6 PP. That's all fine and dandy, but right now factors are fucking expensive. So, or it's gonna be expensive depending on how you go about it and all that jazz. But the thing is, yeah, it's high up there, but do you really want to use a factor? If you want to be cheap about it, you will want to try to find something that can at least cover most of the things. Made 6 slots unit of Mana, Astro, Ether, and Doombreak last night. Shit. Congrats, man. Damn. Yeah, that Doombreak, though. Doombreaks would give you a lot. It's just that I kind of wish I farmed for a lot of them during Ramil. Like during the Evangelion event. Especially a bunch of Doombreaks 2s. Because Doombreaks 2s dropped like candy over there in that quest. If I stocked up on a lot more, to the point where it was like stupid, and I had it fill up one of my like AC storages, that would have done so much good, especially right now. But yeah, the reason why I'm making this is just so I can have like something else other than that Ether Factor. If people understand what I'm doing with this, then they would see the value behind it. But the question is, am I going to use this or am I going to sell this? I have no clue. And then there's also the other issue with the Absolute Glare coming around, so people may not want to get it, but I don't know. This is more of the budget cheap version that I'm going for. I already have like 2 of these, so the thing is I don't need to worry about Metro Glare anymore, because you only need 2 to actually get a Glare to transfer. And that's like with the highest percent, unless there's like a certain soap that can boost it. I haven't really tested that one out. But all I've been doing is just toying around with these glares. So if I really want to toy around with this RX Fever now, I can just have stuff at a 6 slot, put a Reverie Catalyst onto that, and I'm good. And then I would have to make a Reverie with an Mega Mode Reverie. Alright. With the Omega one, it's just going to be a Catalyst, maybe. But once again, I don't know if I plan to use this or if I plan to sell this. And in terms of selling something with a Reverie Catalyst at a 6 slot, it's not going to give me a huge profit gain. I can get a profit, but at a 6 slot, that would vary. For example, this is 3,622,000. Alright, just by itself. If I put a Omega Memorial with it, oh wow, maybe I should do this a bit more. I didn't realize that was a huge fucking difference. So there's a profit right there. So Gino Rogers says, what's the best affix for Might build with 7 slots? I know Astrosol, Ether, Factor, Mana, Rev, Might, 5, and what else? 7 slots. Yeah, here's the thing with weapons, you gotta consider the S-class abilities too. Like, don't get me wrong, emphasizing on an attack is good, but with S-class abilities, they give you so much. Like, holy shit, you can't underestimate, like, S-class abilities. Let me pull up the, Alright, so here's one of my 8-slot weapons, the Lightstream weapon. This has, once again, 8 slots abilities, 8 abilities, but 3 of these are S-class abilities. And then Eddie says, why do you sell affix units? Like, what would a plus 300 art attack cost me? Alright, hold up. The music paused there. Alright, you were asking. Alright, so affixed abilities, because of the ability transfer process, if you finalize an affix on like a junk unit, like even if it's on a junk unit, guess what? If they have like godlike affixes that catch your interest and it's finalized, you can pay that fixed amount instead of gambling it for yourself. The only way you can figure out if you're gonna get ripped off from it is if you do a bunch of calculations, you toy around with the market. For example, biggest three that people would try to go for: Mana Rev, Ethifactor. I said Mom, I know. I meant to say Mana Rev, Ether. Like, let's say you want an 8 slot. I bet there will be a unit piece with these 3 abilities. I was wrong. It's either people bought them or it wasn't sold. So something like this. So this is a fuck ton of money, but I could see why it would be such. Mana Reverie, Mark Her Regina, Power 6, Ethifactor, Astral Soul, Doom Break 3, and a Grand Power. This is going to emphasize heavily on attack. This thing is plus 290 in S attack. And if you use a 70% with that, you can push this number to... 70 is like the max for time attack, so it's going to be 360 S attack. It's not as high like the unit piece that I made for my pal. And but the thing is, this is finalized. This is something you could put a down payment for and say like, hey, look, I don't want to deal with these affixes, but someone did it, so I'm going to pay for that service. Now, the only thing is, you gotta have to calculate how this is gonna go against you, or if this is actually a good price. Now, you gotta consider the fact that this guy went out of the way to make this unit piece, so there might be a bit of a difference, like maybe 100,000 difference. Just depends on how they went about it and how much they are charging for their said service. Now, if you can find someone that can do the same thing but cheaper than this, like if I were to sell my service and say, look, I can make this stuff and I can sell you this for like 500 mil, then that's me advertising myself and, you know, challenging this unit piece. Do I want to do that? Hell fucking no, because that Doom Break 3, it's going to be an issue at a 7 slot. And then Trey says, try a 4 to 5 unit or weapon since you want to use 4 protection, search for. Yeah, like, if you really want to get these hard affixes and build your way up to the point where you can get those, like, high numbers, then you will want to start low. Like, do it at the formula that I taught you guys, or the video that I have talking about, like, the 3-slot Astral Soul, Mana Rev, Ethifactor. That's the best way to get all 3 of those abilities without having to spend as much and doing it safely, especially with that 4-slot protection. That is good. That will save you in the long run. Let me see how much this one costs. Now, at a 4-slot, you can see that someone already finalized these abilities right here. I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't get this one in particular. Just because if you were trying to do ability transfer, you don't want that body 1 there. And it's going to be hard. If you do the ability transfer process, like, you can't really change that body 1 unless you tamper with this. And once you tamper with this, the hard part is getting that Mana Reverie again. Unless later on they make a Reverie Receptor, and then that would be a different story. But you can keep the Astral Soul at the factor, but you're gambling with a 10%. Because you'll need to use the Soul Receptor and the Factor Receptor for it. But that Mana Rev, you gotta have to remake all over again. And then Trey says you can make 300 using Mana, Grand, Astrals, and SAS. Grand Astral. Yeah, like for a weapon, it should be a tad easier to get it to those stats. For units, alright, hold up, yeah. Like break it down for me, Trey. Ah, okay, gotcha. I don't think you could put the link. Oh, okay. I don't mean for you. Oh, I don't mean for unit. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, the only thing is you gotta be to get to the attack power on while wearing a weapon is fine. It's possible. It's just that because of S-class abilities, there's gonna be some use to getting S-class abilities more than the raw attack, especially if you can get percentages. The big thing is a lot of people were mentioning, or there was a particular video a friend mentioned and a certain ability that I really didn't look into much, but it involved these Slayer abilities. Now I never got into it because I was like ignored these, but apparently these Slayer abilities have a certain percentage behind them, I think. And you have to really toy around with these to get the most out of them. Because it says increases the power of attacks against whatever type. Now, it doesn't have to be Wopo, but there's several different Slayer abilities. And then this effect is reduced as the weapon rarity increases. So I know a friend of mine mentioned how they have this ability on a low rarity weapon just so they can get this sort of boost. And a friend of mine tested it too, and they were doing a ton of damage. It's just that, I haven't really toyed around with these, and I'm not an expert at them at right now, so I need to figure out how to actually toy with these things. But in due time, not right now though, because I'm focused more on weapons and stuff. Oh wait, that's another problem I realized. If I want to try to get like a catalyst with Omega Memoria, I need Fabuloso, and I don't have a stockpile of those. I would have to buy them. But it's a good gamble too, because Fabuloso... Fabuloso out of 6... Oh, that's a bit costly. But it will give you a good trade-off if you can get it in the first success. Maybe. Yeah, just by itself isn't anything. With the Reverie Catalyst, it's gonna be something. And that's if you get someone to buy it too. Yeah, at the very least, if you wanted to be safe about it, you could spend... Well... Storage so should be farmable. It shouldn't be that expensive. I might need to farm Omega. Or like Masquerade for it. Man. Scratching my head at this. Yeah, I might need to actually beat up Masquerade and see if I can get him to drop some Historias. He drops Historias. It's either he drops Historias or Fabs. Oh yeah, I was gonna demonstrate that. Hold up. I forgot I was trying to get the Arcs Fever to transfer. So I'm gonna need a bunch of 1 slots and then get it to a 2 slot and then into a 3 slot. And then 4 slot, 5 slot, etc, until I stop. Yeah, I was really wondering how much you would charge for a 300 art attack unit if you do sell services like that. Oh wait, are you asking me for that, or... to make it 300. Okay, so my question is this. Do you want it exactly at 300, or are you going to use a time ability to get it to 300? It will depend, because I had to do a bunch of calculations and also add the service fee too. Like, the 420 unit piece that I made for my friend, I didn't charge him that much. Like, someone would charge it stupidly on the market, but I decided to do it at a fair price within their budget. So you really don't care much about our attack, HP, and PP. I'm trying to think how much. Yeah, I had to do a bit of research to figure out how to get the 300 attack unit exactly, or how I want to go about making it. I would say it would be best if you can try to make it Eddie, just because, like, I don't mind getting money, but in the sense of how you can go about it yourself, so you can save the money and not really worry about it, then you will want to try to gamble it yourself, unless you really don't have the patience to do that. Then I'm gonna have to get back to you on that answer. Right now I'm trying to figure out what pieces I can pull from. This sucks that I have a bunch of 13-star units that I'm not using. I want to get rid of them, but I can't. But yeah, Eddie, like, I'll definitely help you in terms of trying to get there for you. But, like, I don't want you to spend Meseta on me when you could try to, you know, keep most of your Meseta. Like, I don't mind helping people, it's just that if you want me to actually do the service in itself, I am gonna charge. It's not like I'm gonna try to charge you stupidly though, but at the same time it's like, you can save a bit if you do it at the cheap slot and you do it for yourself. And then Vaughn says, I hate affixing, to be honest. Like, I'll do it when I have to, but I always fail. Yeah, that's another thing. It's just RNG. Especially if it's, like, good abilities, like Mana Rev, Astra Soul, and Ether Factor. Like, the only way to minimize that bullshit is to get whatever you can to help you through those struggles, like protections and stuff. And Dwayne says, I'm too lazy to affix. I don't blame you. Like I said, if you're playing on North America, affixes aren't like you have to get them. You can get decent ones. You can make easy ones where it's like, I can just use a 30% boom, I'm done. I can use it as a 4th slot too. As long as you have something that can help you. In terms of the Japanese PSO2, that's a bit... It's changing a bit just because of the content that we have over here. But always know that if you decide to hire someone, they aren't... Unless they really are going to do it for free. I know that someone in some... Like, someone that does a bunch of affixes here and there, they're doing a bunch of free services to every one of their teammates. Like, they're getting a bunch of free marks, a bunch of free... what is it? They're just getting a lot of upgrades for free. Because that person is just giving them out for free for all their teammates, all their buddies that they know in-game. So it's like, holy shit. Alright. I used to do a bunch of free affixes for my team back in episode 2 and 3. Especially if it was like for the 4 slots and 5 slots and easy affixes that, you know, it's not going to cost me as much. I made like my entire team have a huge upgrade because I gave them like the stats that they want. Cheap stats, like decent stats, but on all their units and for, you know, free. But I can't do the same thing now with like some of these hard ass abilities. Alright, so Eddie says, I bought two 130 attack 5 slots and then two 10 7 slots with S class and R attack for 90 mil each unit. But I really like a 300 R attack. Should be a glass cannon, I see. What are your abilities? Yeah, what are your abilities for those? Because you could work... Well, I don't know if you can work with them. The question is, yeah, what are those abilities? Because if you already have like some of the good abilities, you can try to manipulate it to the point where you can keep them. Like, for example, I might need to rework this, shit, what did I do? And then Windows says, yo, I should have started playing Borderlands 3 PSO2 is Yeet as a Nami is Yeet. Patty is Yeet. Hey there, Windu. Damn, yeah, that is actually something you can go for. Let me explain why. Because that sentence triple, there is a way to get a pop item for it right now, especially if you're playing on the Japanese PSO2. It might cost you a bit, but I think it would be good for you. The limited AC recycle, you can get a pop item, an add ability item for that sentence R. Sentence R isn't that bad either. Looking at it, it's not a lot of attack, but it gives you that PP boost. That too, yeah. You instead of doing this, there are a couple unit pieces that can give you it. I think I might be wrong about this one. No, you don't show me it. Why you no show me it? I don't know if the Novo arm gives the SAF for power. I think it's the Liberate one. I have a Nova somewhere. Oh shoot. Okay, so Novos can give you the grade 5. The Liberate gives you the grade 6. And yeah, like there's a particular unit piece for that. It's gonna be a 13 star. Which is it? So you need a Scaval. Scaval will give you that sentence R if you do not want to use the pop item. And then Windu says, I have only seen one of those affixes. Mark lol. And then Dwayne says, I made Astro Mana crack at their 4th slot, add Jojo 15 passes, shoot 6 30 passes, and Grand shoot 100 to 8 slot. Damn. And Windu says NA. Yeah, like some of these abilities, they're not over there in NA. Astro Slow is. It should be over there in NA because that was episode 3 content and you had to combine all the souls for it. The problem with making Astro Slow over there is that it's going to be stuck on whatever you make it on unless you have a receptor. Only way to do that over there in NA is through weapons at the moment. I don't know when they get added receptors over there for North America. Unless they don't make a PSO2 ES over there and put it in like their battle pass, and then I'm gonna shake my head if they do it for the battle pass shit. Yeah, for sentence shoot, you would need the Scaval arm. If you have... You could buy the particular 12-star unit that can go up to the Scaval arm. I think it's over here. Units, arm. What do you need to get Scaval arm? Yeah, you need Scaval boosters. I don't remember where to farm these. But you can get the Cleasis 12-star and try to upgrade it. If you did the... I don't know if you did the Sergeant Scratch, Eddie. But yeah, the Mark Receptor is going to be something you would want. And then also a Mark. What did you say? Angra on a unit. Yeah, some people are putting these marks on units. It's just that the receptor is going to be a thing. So roughly around, you're spending a good 60-70 mil, Eddie, with those two. And then Lee says, we got Soul Receptor for weapons, but not units in NA. Would probably be SG Scratch. True enough. Well, I don't know. But, the pop items, I can see the special add ability items like I have over here from the Sergeant Scratch that I did a couple. Or I pulled a couple from. It could be a natural, or I don't know. This is why I feel like NA is kind of cheating you guys, because they didn't put PSO2 ES in there. Like, PSO2 ES is the main way to get these receptors that you need so you can do some of these hard abilities. Granted that you don't need them, like the 420 attack formula I made for you, or I showed, that one didn't really require like a combination of Astro Soul. Actually, the 400 attack one did not require like all three of those endgame abilities, like Astro Soul, Mana Rev, and Ether Factor. It just needed Ether Factor. Like, you can go for some other Reverie, and you can go for Apprentice Soul. But if you were going for that 420, for example, yeah, that one required at least like two of the, or at least a Mana Rev in there with an Ether Factor. Yeah, I got some of these pop items over here from the Sergeant Scratch. Mark Joyo, Corregina, and then Angra, and then I also have a Receptor and a Griff. The Griff kind of sucks because, well, no, I could toy around with that in terms of making a defense affix. There's only a few people that I knew back then that made defense affixes, and they were something. And then Eddie says if that'd be helpful. Alright, so I'm gonna have to stop the stream here. I need to go eat. It's lunchtime for me. I might stream again later. I do need to do my weeklies on here. I wanted to get them out of the way. So I will most likely stream after I'm done eating. And we can chat more about fixes by then. So thank you guys for chilling with me for now. I'll be back in maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes. You guys can continue to chat in the box if you want, or in the chat box. I'll see you guys rough around 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I'll let you guys know through my Discord or through my Twitter. It should be down in the description. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Now to pop up the ending thingamabobber that I have set up. Wherever you are. Where are you?